Okay, so I just arrived at the parking area for Jerry Johnson Hot Springs. It's Sunday, March 24th, and it's around 8:30 in the morning. 30 degrees, my car has just told me. And the bonus of being an early riser is I get to enjoy such things as this with few people around. There's about 5 cars here. I have a special affection for this suspension bridge here at Jerry's. It's just one of those things, I can't quite explain it. But it's just lovely, and I'm like, I'm home when I see this bridge, the start of the trail. So this is me on the trail, and this is really icy. So this is me making a public service message to make friends with your yak tracks. Yeah, because without those, this would be a harrowing journey. So I thought it worth mentioning on this video blog here that on this solo saunter of mine here, I'm thinking about how it's taken me time and practice to work up to feeling comfortable as a lone female to go off into the woods and go on different excursions. And I've been doing this more and more over the last couple of years especially. And it's taken me some, like I said, practice of doing short trips and then longer trips and going deeper into the woods by myself. And it's not that I'm cautious or scared or fearful of animals. That is not my worry. My what I've had to break through when I've had to practice and doing these solo saunters is working with my fear around running into creepy guys. I've never had an encounter with a creepy guy in the woods on my own. And it's one of those things where, you know, it's a possibility, so it's good for me to mentally prepare and have something in mind should such a thing happen. But I don't want to be ruled by that fear and not do things based on it. Especially because it's more likely that everything's going to be just fine. So it's not an entirely rational fear. So I don't want to be governed by it. But it feels nice to just be on this path right now by myself and feel good. Yeah, feel comfortable. And everything's a practice. So right down there, see if I can zoom in, you can see there's a lovely pool. Or is it? Okay, so that water coming out of the hillside here, that's hot water, right? But as you can see, it's right next to the river, which is not hot water. Yeah, it's March. It's really cold water. And since it's been heating up lately and there's melt-off happening, that pool is going to be super washed out right now and really cold. So when that pool is operating at its prime, that's the best pool to go into for sure. But the window and the periods of times where that thing is soakable, it's kind of like a treasure. It's, you know, like once in a while. Not super often is that running well to soak in. So I'm looking from afar and enjoying it. You know, mentally. But I'm not getting in there. No, sir. Okay, you know what I find interesting about these names here in this tree on the path to Jerry's? Can you guess what I find interesting? So I find it interesting that enough people travel back here with a Sharpie. A lot of those were not etched in the wood. They were drawn on by a Sharpie. Coming up to the main pools. So far I've not seen people, but they're back here somewhere. There's cars in the parking lot, that's how I know. So there's some smaller pools now interspersed over here. And then there's two large pools. One right here, and then one off in the trees there. I think I'm gonna go up top to the last pool. But let's check this one out, you know, while we're here. I see people over in the smaller pools. Now this one was completely covered over by snow. There was some sort of washout a couple years ago, and volunteers dug it out. Or maybe trail crews, it might not have been solely volunteers. But they did not dig it down nearly as deep as it used to be. So it's actually not very warm. Back there is where the inflow is, so if you sit in there, it's pretty nice. But this time of the year, this may be a little chilly, which is why I'm going to go check out the other one. So it's worth mentioning that I was planning on coming here a couple weeks ago on the date of Mike and I's wedding anniversary, which is March 9th, but I got super sick. So I did not come, so this is my rain check visit. Mike and I try to come up here to Jerry's on or around our anniversary every year because we got married here. Somewhere over here is where we had our friends collect, and we had our spiritual ceremony up here. Maybe we had about 15 people hike back with us, and then we had a circle, and then we did some soaking. So this place holds a special sentimental value, yeah? Alright, the other pool is right up here. I might turn this off for now because I don't want to roll up on people with the camera if anyone's soaking there. Lady with the camera. Okay, so before I got to that hot spring, I saw clothing a dangle on some wood, and then I heard people chatting, so I didn't go all the way up there. Because now I know there's people in that hot spring. So that makes it easy. I'm gonna go soak in this other lovely pool. And it'll be glorious, I trust. So I feel like I left the pool at just the right time. I got probably, I I don't know, gosh, I've been soaking for probably an hour, maybe a little bit more, on my own in that pool. And I started feeling like, oh, maybe it's about time to leave. And then I looked up, and down the trail were coming 3 guys. And I was like, oh, yep, good time to leave. Because I figured they'd probably be joining my pool. Because there's other people in the other pools, and anyway. And most people are suitors. It's my word for people that wear bathing suits. I'm not a suitor. And I was not interested in being a non-suitor in a pool of guys who were all suitors. So I was like, oh, exit stage left, when I saw them coming down the trail. It was good timing. So now they can have the pool, and I get to enjoy the lovely trail back to my vehicular unit. So I just get back to my car. That car that's pulling in right now makes number 14 here. And as you might recall, I think there were 5 here when I got here. And coming out of the trail just now, I passed 12 people. Or 12 people passed me. We passed each other. And so now there is a gaggle of people back there. So once again, I've left at a really good time, as it turns out. And gosh, it's just a beautiful day. And I am going to head to Lochsaw Lodge, I think, to get some food, to do some writing, and to enjoy Lochsaw Lodge because I love that spot. Okay, so I'm at Lochsaw Lodge. Look, I even have a Lochsaw Lodge sticker on my Contigo. That's how much I love it here. Sweet potato fries. And I have decided to sit outside because I can, and it's glorious. Look at this deck. It's dry. The sun is out. I actually just took off my sweater. That's how warm it is right now. And I have this whole deck to myself. And I'll tell you that inside, there are a lot of people sitting inside at tables. I feel like I should go in there and be like, hey people, I think you're all missing out. Because it's really nice out here. But you know, to each their own. Man, this is just fantastic. It really does not get any better than this. This is just brilliant. Alright, I just turned around on the highway, Highway 12, to perform a public service. That's a new one. That was not there on my way to the hot springs. Oh boy. Public service completed.